So tonight we are out here in Sacramento to give a little validation to a family and some cute little fur babies as well. They just want a little bit of validation for the energy that may be around them or what may be present in the space, and just the comfort of knowing that they are surrounded by light, by love, and by protection. And of course, we will absolutely be conducting a full comprehensive blessing. Once we're done, investigating the space, we use all these meters and, the spirit box and all this real direct interaction. We want to ensure that we are mindful of returning the energy back down to a very loving, positive vibration for the space so they can just love their home. We are, of course, still being very mindful of the physical distancing. That is something that is still in place for most of us here in California. That's very important for all of us. We are providing something that is necessary and essential to them, but we want to do so in the safest way possible, both physically and spiritually. There is some energy that I'm picking up on very lightly with some preliminary little vibes. I haven't really opened all the way yet. For some reason, I've stayed locked down. I don't know why. Just maybe whatever reason, my body or soul just felt like staying contained at the moment, There was an older woman that I felt, and I did feel a little bit of abdominal pain with her. I'm putting her probably in her late 80s, early 90s, is kind of where I'm feeling her. She's very into just protecting and checking on. She's a little pushy, actually. But she's just, she's very monitoring of the situation right now. She's just kind of observing me from afar. And there's also an older gentleman. I would put him probably late 70s, early 80s, give or take. And he's just like, well, I'm going to go do my thing. And he's just kind of muttering off and doing something on his own. He's just kind of busy right now. And he's like, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just taking care of this and that. I'm just doing whatever I got to do. Cute little man. Interesting fellow. He almost has a bit of an accent to him. I don't think he's from around here. It's kind of the impression I'm getting from this gentleman. Nice guy, though. Good values. A little old-fashioned, but, I like him. There's a younger male as well, and he's not talking to me yet. And I don't know where he came from. Just the 20s, 30s maybe. Just kind of popped in and he was like, oh, sorry. Sorry, should I be here? And so I don't know if he's from a neighboring house or if he's actually just connected to this space. Nothing feels heavy. Nothing feels dark. At least not in this room here. It feels very zen in the space right where we're standing in the living room. So I'd like to take a little walk through the home, see if I feel anything that's relevant, make sure everything is where it should be, or put it back where it belongs energetically. Kind of tailor this to our clients this evening who, at the end of the day, just deserve to enjoy their home. So, with that said, if I have your puppy dog approval, shall we commence with the walkthrough? Yeah. I think I got approval. All right then. Yeah. But then we'll do the walkthrough.
I don't really have a gift. Melissa's the gifted one, but what I heard when we drove up was old. There's a single word. I just heard old, and I didn't know if that meant.
I'm keeping attracted back there, so that's where I'm being pulled.
Sometimes we'll
there.
get little words like that, and it was just an impression. We all have something. We all have a gift. It's just a matter of how developed it is. So we all have that. We call it intuition. Mm-hmm. We all have that sixth sense of when something doesn't feel right. So we all have that, and then some people have more. Some people are born strange. Weird.
Thanks. What are you saying? I'm weird. I keep being pulled that way, but I want to save that because that's where some of the weirdest energy feels. But I want to start in the kitchen. I just want to start in it almost feels a little more neutral zone-ish in here, as if this is try to be a buffer zone in this section of the house. Sure. So I'm trying to figure it out. Ooh. A little bit of head pain in here. This is kind of odd. A bit of a sharp pain, headache, migraine pain.
Right in the temples.
Yeah, it feels almost like a compression.
Yeah.
On my skull. It just feels compressed.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
The more you go into the kitchen, the more you feel it.
It's weird, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if honestly, I almost think that, once we get the meters out, doing a really heavy, good sweep in here might help tell me why I feel that. It might not be paranormal. It could be just because there's a lot of like appliance things happening, and maybe that I'm just more sensitive to the electricity right now.
Could be.
It could just be that, but we'll play with the meters and figure it out. That woman, who is that woman? I don't think she lived here. I don't think she's part of the house. I think she's genetically connected to them somehow. Sometimes I'll pick up ancestors. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 generations back. It's sometimes they don't often tell me exactly who they are. But this older woman, she's just such a busy little woman, busy gal. This is like the garage-ish area.
It's a converted garage.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's a man cave.
Ah.
I guess I probably should bless your man cave. I don't necessarily need to investigate your man cave. Do you feel safe and content in your cave? Do you feel good down here?
I feel okay down there.
Okay.
It's kind of my space.
The cave is copacetic.
I mean, other than we're getting our floors redone soon, so like there's a bunch of furnitures in there. We remodeled the dining room.
Well, that's the life of remodeling. You have to shift things around. May as well look out there. Yeah, it is. It is a full moon. It is the strawberry moon. And there's also a minor eclipse, lunar eclipse, where it's not fully covered, but it's slightly passing through the shadow. Yeah, it's hard to notice. It's much more like subdued, but there is a slight eclipse-ish that would be occurring along with the full moon. But it's not a full shadowing. It's like more of it dims it like a dimmer switch.
What do you think out here?
I'm having a weird feeling. I don't know why. I'm trying to listen to it, and I'm having a time with it.
What an interesting.
Oh. Oh. I get the distinct impression that something got like an animal or something maybe buried or something over here. I just feel like an animal spirit.
Like domesticated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like a domestic animal of some kind. Chanting.
Hmm.
I don't know what that was.
Well, it's interesting.
That was all about.
Well, I'll figure that out eventually. I sort of felt the sensation of animal energy over there, like maybe somebody buried a domesticated pet back there.
That would make sense.
That's what it felt like to me. I just felt like I was being drawn, and then I saw like an energy of an animal, and then just sort of in memory, and it felt very emotional. So just really a residual vibration is all it felt like. But it just drew me back there for some reason. Brent, be mindful. Steps.
Don't fall into the garage.
Steps.
That was interesting.
All kinds
Oh, yeah.
So when the energy shows me different symbols, I have to sit there and try to interpret them into actual like words that make sense. Because I'm just seeing picture after picture after picture. It feels like that obviously that the remodeling and changing the color, like it's bringing the energy up to a really a lifted space. But it almost feels like initially a dampened energy in here. A little depressed. Just feels like there at some point was a heavier, depressed vibration, but then I feel like it's almost like moving up and shifting. So there's been some sort of energetic shift for the better in this space, but it feels like almost like a chronic depression or chronic anxiety type of issue in this space. I don't know what if anything you know about whoever lived here before, who you bought it from, but it feels heavier.
And would that definitely be regarding the home itself?
Oh, not necessarily. It could be one of you guys too, but I don't know what you guys have used the space for in the last year. But I felt like almost like dampened, heavy energy that's trying to go the other direction now. Like there's like a shift in the energy, but it felt very distinctly just kind of scattered. It was a scattered emotional state in the space is how it felt. A little lost, a little confused, but not as much now. Like there's been a movement to a better direction. A lot better. And this space in here just feels nice. But I almost feel like anybody perceptive to energy might see, like if you're sitting, like you're watching TV, you might see something real quick, or just see something real quick, or just feel something just real quick, and you're like, huh? You know, but most people brush that stuff off. They're like, oh, okay, that was just something from outside, or that kind of thing. I just feel like if you're a little more perceptive to energy, you might notice things. Feel things, cold chill, a quick out of the corner of your eye, that type of thing could happen. There's got to be a beacon in this house. I just got to figure out which one of you it is. One of you people is more gifted, one or more, than the other. Somebody has abilities.
You're going.
So that older lady again is following me with a little bit of the abdominal pain.
Tummy trouble?
Mm-hmm. She's giving me a little sharp pain. Could be gallbladder, could be liver, could be intestinal. It's just something a little irritated. She says, I check on everyone. I make sure everybody is fine. She's very much... You do too, don't you, little poopies? You do too. Are you helping? You're very helpful.
Very.
Do you see them? Yes, you do. I know you do. If this is an energy of profound connectivity, intelligence, creativity, there's an energy of brilliance, ability, sensitivity, a lot of vulnerability, and there's some anxiety in here too. With the vulnerability. I don't know what it's coming from yet. Ooh, it's giving me a tingle.
That's a nice size room.
Mm-hmm.
My ears are ringing in here.
More so than in the abdomen, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of ear ringing in here, which usually means like spiritual energy being close or spiritual giftedness as well. There's something connecting to the living, not in a negative way. Dreams, messages, visions, visitation dreams. Some of the dreams might be intense though, might be a little vivid, might be a little much to take, sometimes like a little confusing. Like, I wake up, what the hell does that mean? You know, that kind of sensation. Right. That's comfortable. That's soft. Oh, the back pain. That's not good. I feel a sharp pain in my lower back for some reason. Just a tightness, like a real deep tightness. Yeah, that could disrupt sleep for sure. Tell me, just show me in images, come on. The weirdest picture popped into my brain. It was this giant, looked like a monarch butterfly, but it was purple. I have no idea what that means at all. I have to look that one up. It was just this big, giant butterfly with like, that sort of pattern that a monarch would have, but where the orange would be, it's all purple. And I'm wondering what that...
Is that like a negative?
No, I'm thinking it's more like, because purple is representational of intuitive ability, spiritual connection, ethereal connection. Butterflies are transformation. Mm-hmm. So it could be a blooming process or a transformational process of the soul. So that could be something like that going on energetically.
I've always had a thing for butterflies. I have a tattoo.
Oh, do you?
Oh.
Butterfly tattoo.
Oh. Well, okay.
It happens to be purple.
Is it purple? I haven't
Where
seen
is
it.
And it was purple?
I believe it's purple, yeah.
Hold on, we gotta see.
Hold up now.
That is purple.
Darned. It is purple.
Oh, you don't even know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
It's not like I can
my
see
gosh.
That's great.
What's your tattoo?
I get a little creeped out by this.
Creep yourself out again.
Good job.
Wow. Okay.
Not every day.
Well, they were bringing me to whatever, so they must be talking about you then. If they're bringing me to the image of a purple butterfly, they must be discussing you and your whatever blooming you're doing. It's almost like you guys have an intuitive sense obviously you're interested in watching paranormal TV, but there's something where maybe just the feeling, the sensation, you guys just feel things a little deeper. You just feel like you feel a little deeper inside. Is that kind of how you feel? Like, you get little feeling vibe senses?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize them as being anything.
It's normal. It's normal to you.
Yes, but I never thought that I had any kind of ability of any kind.
Well, what I feel, what I'm sensing in this space and the whole house is the ability to have got instinct, know things, like as far as just like you get it, walk into a place, you just it doesn't feel right. That's the kind of sensation, or it's you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an empath.
Okay, it was like bleeding into the space. I'm like, who the hell feels everything? You feel it deeply.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just learned in the last year,
Okay.
maybe less than a year.
So how are your dreams? Are you the one that I was feeling that had the intense dreams?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can help you with that.
Yeah. I was going to a group
Okay.
before
Yeah.
COVID obviously happened, and trying to like develop and stuff like that. So.
Well, I've got a lot of good friends in the community and a lot of resources. I can email you guys some things to keep you bubbled and protected and clear yourself. Because it really is that intense, you get around a person and how you just, you know, if they're good or they're bad, or if you're comfortable. It's just, it's in your soul.
Yeah, no, we've lived in houses. We lived in a house
in the Arbors way.
In the Arbors over there off of Watt, North Watt? Yeah, North Islands, and like I couldn't walk through that house at night. Like, we moved out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's
because like I mean I had to run through the house. I'd have to go turn on the lights all the way to the bedroom, and then run behind myself and turn off the lights all the way to the bedroom. And this was years ago before I knew anything about anything. But I just know that I was very uncomfortable in that house.
Well, then that makes sense, because I felt it so heavily in this house of like pure intuitive ability. I'm like, where the hell is it coming from? Because it's strong. I'm like, what is this? And so that makes sense that that's something you've been going through. That's been a journey that you've been on. And we're happy to continue to support that journey and give you a little more information and guidance.
Awesome.
Because being grounded is very, very important
I'm very poor at it.
It's hard.
I need to ground way more often.
It's hard to learn, but once you get it in your wheelhouse, it becomes second nature, and you don't even have to think about it. It just happens. But practice makes perfect. I mean, Rome was not built in a day. You don't learn this stuff overnight. So we'll just give you as much support and resources along the way so you have the information that you need. There's energy in this space. There's energy that's connected to you guys. It's not necessarily negative. I mean, there's some helpful energy, protective energy, but it does feel like there's some pockets of weirdness, and I can't quite understand what they are just yet. And that could be, you know, peripheral energy coming in from other locations, and if you're a little bit of a beacon, a little bit of a lighthouse,
that's kind of what I've always felt.
Things might wander in and out, which is also why the grounding and the aura protection and being kind of put in your spiritual level is very important. You don't want to turn this place into a 7-Eleven.
Right.
Where everybody's coming in and just saying, oh, he's a light source, let's come in. And, you know, even though it doesn't feel as strong, you know, you guys don't recognize it as strongly, I think that there is a little bit of different type of things going on, like, you know, feeling things, maybe just that good inner compass. We all have it. Some people are clearly a little more, the volume high, you know, it's a little turned up, and we want to get the volume turned to a comfortable level so where you're not blasting yourself out. You know, like it's like rock concert, you know, level. You want it to be more like music in the background, where it's manageable. And I've spent a long time learning this, and I still don't know everything yet.
Right.
You're so concerned.
I know, you're so worried about it. Animals are really good for this, though. I mean, they're very helpful. They're very therapeutic.
He's my buddy.
Yeah, they provide an immense amount of soul comfort. I'm almost wondering if the energies don't try to like wake you up, like startle you awake, and
it happens.
Okay, because I feel like I got the image of eyes popping open, like what was that? You know, like did I hear a sound? Did I feel a thing? You know,
he's woken me up several times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, recently with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but he's still asleep. It's like maybe
you're
woken up a little bit.
You're being pestered. Your boundaries, we need to work on your boundaries.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
You need to have some social distancing with the dead.
Starting to work on with the group I was in.
Okay.
I was learning how to kind of turn it down and kind of create my space and say, okay, now's the time to come talk to me.
Yeah, you do have to set times.
Now's the time you leave me alone. Like, now's my time.
Yep.
There's no space for you now.
Yeah, I'm very much about that too. When I'm eating, drinking, sleeping, showering, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, these are the times where we don't have, it's open and closed. It's like a business. Again, you don't want this to turn into 7-Eleven where they're just coming in all the time and, hey, I want this, hey, I want that. That's not right. That's not fair. You wouldn't tolerate that out of the living either.
Right.
So why would you tolerate that out of the dead? So what's really important is not being afraid to tell them no. Don't, you are the living. You have the right to your energy and to your space. And if you don't want your space invaded, you can simply say, no, you cannot be here. Thanks for visiting, that kind of stuff. You can set a boundary. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be scared. just have to be assertive.
Right.
Like an assertive parent, you know? That kind of just like, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, and these are the rules. So I can almost, like, I get the feeling, it's so new that, I don't know, it's almost like there's this fear associated with either pushing it away, will it go away all the way, or also the fear if you open it up too much, what will happen? And
the fear of opening up too much, what will happen?
Yeah.
And then discerning between what are my thoughts
and what are the spirit?
And what is spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's sort of, for me, I can tell when it's a persistent thought that comes out of nowhere. I can tell it's usually from something else.
Right.
It just, over time, you just start to realize, like, if it keeps poking at you, like it flies in, you know, all of a sudden like a dive bombing bird, and then just keeps pecking at you, it's usually a spiritual energy thought. If it's something that you're just like, oh yeah, I should have remembered to do that. Okay, well, your thought. You sort of have to really pay attention to how it hits you and how it feels. And don't even be, you know, you can, if you don't really know, ask your spiritual guides, your protectors. We all have them, especially all empaths have them. Ask your guardians and your protectors and your guardian angels, like, okay, is this me or is this the spirit? And keep asking over and over. A thing will pop in your head when you ask that a couple of times. It'll go boom. It'll be like, spirit, me. Like, you'll literally get it like almost smacking you in the face. It just, whenever something pops in, stop and pause and ask yourself and ask the universe, is this my thought? Is this a spiritual energy? The answer will absolutely come.
Okay.
You just have to kind of learn to get your dialogue on with the other side, you know, and they'll tell you, because you do have energy assigned to you that's trying to help you.
Right.
So you're not doing it alone. I know sometimes it feels like you're alone. Being an empath is kind of hard, but you're not.
Empaths are never alone.
Yeah, no, they're not.
No.
But you've got help. You've got love on the other side. You've got help on the other side. You've got energy that is protecting you. So we'll get this figured out for you. But we got to lock this down a little bit and tamp this down for you, so you can have a little bit better management and better time with this energy. This doesn't go away. This is who you are. What awakens it at different times in one's life, a myriad of things. But it happened, and now you have to deal with it. You know, I mean, it could be trauma, it can be an accident, it can be a loss. So many different things will just turn that switch on. And once it's there, you got to do something with it. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, I want to help.
You're
So
the boy.
we will.
Shall we press on?
We'll wander a little bit more, and then we'll get you some resources for sure. I've got a lot of different avenues I can send you down, so you can kind of walk this walk with some support.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because that's what I needed. I needed a mentor. You know, I needed somebody to help guide me, and so it's good to have. It's good to have a team.
Yeah, no, and I was really enjoying my group. I came back a different person
I just
after
think it was just more relaxed.
Well, and whatever you did learn in that, I mean, keep practicing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep doing those things. And what room is that in there?
That's my answer.
Okay, let's go feel your energy. You did clean it up. Look at that.
Right?
Good job.
Artists everywhere.
Bob Ross. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Just
He's
hang
there.
on a second right now. That's awesome. That's just funny. Happy little trees.
Because you can change your art up every time. I like that.
There's a little bit of nervous energy. Like little, it reminds me of like a hummingbird or like like that type of vibration. It's just a very anxious, but in a useful way. Like try to turn the anxiety into something productive, something creative. But you're trying to find your lane. You're doing this little swimming around the pool almost, trying to find your lane. You will be finding it. You're doing fine. What I'm hearing from the other side is to be patient. Be patient with yourself. I feel like you almost get impatient with yourself. Like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? You know, you're getting very impatient with yourself. But you've got a lot of support, and you've got from the earthly side and from the spiritual side. So yeah, you've definitely got a lot of good energy. There's very good energy in this space. And it's okay to feel confident. It's okay to feel strong. You need to embrace more of that, your inner strength, because there's a lot of nervousness.
Yeah.
So.
You're nervous when you're awesome.
Yeah, I'm hearing from some of these souls, you are as talented as you think. Stop doubting yourself. Like, knock it off. Quit doubting yourself. You are very supported, and you're going to be just fine. Yeah, and also I feel in this space, an extremely protective energy, like almost like super bubble protective energy, like somebody is like plopped a protective film, like they want to like love and protect you, and this is like a spiritual energy, almost ancestral. Like there's a lady, and she seems old, but maybe closer to her 60s, getting a little bit of pancreatic pain with her, maybe diabetic. And she's just, I don't know where she fits in the overall web, but she's very like interested in keeping you protected. So,
It's my grandmother.
Oh, well, that's a good protector then.
That makes total sense for sure.
Okay. She seems like
Well,
she's a really awesome, she's an awesome, but she's like, I'm protecting the space. Screw the rest of you people. I'm like, I'm gonna keep her. You know, it's very sweet. It's very nice. But yeah, man, ooh, she's getting me with that whole pancreas.
Yeah, she was diabetic.
Okay, yeah. It's a little uncomfortable, I gotta tell you. And so she suffered with it a little bit. She struggled to keep it managed.
Yeah, no, she lost her leg. Like, it was
yeah.
It's a terrible disease, man.
But she does seem, she goes, I am healthy as a horse now. Like, she's like all proud. She's like, and this is my job, and I'm going to do it well. Bossy little lady. She's got a little bit of a mouth on her.
Some sass.
She is a little bit sassy, but she's a cool gal. I mean, hey, if you got to have a guardian, cute little bossy gal that's gonna help you out, why not? I mean, that's a good thing to have in a space. So yeah, I like her though. She's funny. She's got mouth on her though. She's an interesting gal. And you've got some good energy in this space. You've definitely got some helpers in this house, but your boundaries kind of suck a little bit right now because you're getting everybody and their brother coming up through here. I mean, sometimes it's really quiet, and it's, you know, and then other times it's like, you know, it's what the hell, you know, it's like Party Central. You know, Grand Central Station going on in the space. Can't sleep right, don't get comfortable, you're not settled, you wake up exhausted, you feel like you've run a marathon when you wake up and you don't know why, because you've been on an adventure, let me tell you. You're not staying grounded most of the time.
Traveling, man.
That's true.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. So I think that, yeah, we gotta get you them resources for sure, because you are a busy man when you are not conscious. your soul moves, and then
Traveling all over the place.
and absorbs everybody's everything. Like if they have a bad mood or something, or if you go somewhere.
That's why I have a man cave. Because once I start picking up on them, like
You need
I
a
can't.
moment to unplug
I'm like, I go and I'm like, nope.
That's actually really good that you have that space, though. For somebody who's sensitive in this way, you do need a moment to unplug from others and just have a quiet Zen space. I really think something like Tai Chi, Qigong, one of those where it's a mindfulness or a stretching type of exercise or something where you can focus your mind. You can look this stuff up on YouTube and just stream it on your little man cave TV or whatever, and just try some of those type of things where you have a little bit quiet focused time just to center yourself again. There's also a weird set of stretches. You're going to laugh at this one. They're called Maka Ho.
What'd you call me?
Maka Ho. And this is something that I've been taught, and it's really, 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 really good for empaths. Because it helps clear out energy. It's something you can Google. There's like 6 or 7 exercises. Just really quick stretches, where you stretch out, you do this and that. They're simple. And if you need to modify them for any kind of bodily, limits, I can't do them exactly as the pictures show. I'm like, I'm not flexible. But they really they release energy out of your bodily organs, out of your, energy field. And they're super simple, and you can get that done in like 10, 15 minutes. And it's just a quick kind of clear and reboot type of thing. I think that would be really good for you because you are a sponge. So let's wring your sponge out a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will. It sounds like I got a list of things I need to send you. Do this, do that, try this, try that. One of the most simple ways of clearing energy and protecting yourself so you don't absorb everything is literally picturing yourself standing inside of a disco ball.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's my favorite way of grounding.
Isn't it great? Because everything just bounces off. Try spending more time in your disco ball. I think that would be good, especially right before bed. Sort of like do a little prayer or meditation and just, okay, I'm getting in my little disco ball. I'm wrapping up for the night. And then when you're sleeping, you're in your disco ball. And then you can, and that way maybe you might sleep a little more soundly, a little more deeply, a little less out in space, which I would like for you. Yeah, no, it's very, very.
Yeah, I'm down in the
union. So you already have a hard enough job. Yeah, you've already got enough going on. You should have a good sound restful night's sleep.
I'm a foreman, so I have a bunch of stuff going. I'm running the school right now, like from the ground up. It's
that's
my gosh.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, so you've got plenty on your shoulders. You don't need extra, and then to feel like you ran a marathon all night. And that's usually ungrounded empaths. You're being bombarded all night long. So that's not okay. You have to be able to focus and concentrate during the day. Yeah. So one thing I definitely, when I bless you guys during the blessing, I'll try to put a little extra Reiki kind of bubble on you, which you need, and all of you get a little extra bubble because I want all of you safe. I want all of you protected, and just bubble you all up. But then start trying to practice that before bed every night, jumping in your disco ball.
I'll try to remember
and see if that.
I need to work on just grounding in general.
Well, yeah, and see if that helps a little bit. It just practice makes perfect. Sometimes even if you have to write yourself a Post-it note that says, "Did you ground today?" I mean,
I tell her to ground all the time, but then I don't do it. She's like, "Hey, you gotta ground. Like, you're seriously intense right now. You gotta ground."
Yeah, well, I mean, make it a family thing. Like do the stretches together, do a little grounding exercise together. Make it a collective thing so you guys feel like you're facing it head on as a family. It makes it sort of strength in numbers, a little more unity. I think that would be a good thing. So let's regroup in the front room and then figure out where to go from here.
You got it.
So we had our quick little walk, a long-winded walk through because we found a lot of energy running through the space, including from you. Yeah. And we were kind of saying off camera that, you went into this hoping that there would be some validation and some acknowledgement for the sensitivity. So did we deliver what you needed? I mean, as far as that part is concerned.
Absolutely. I would say so.
Well, good. I mean, my goal is to make sure every client gets everything that they need, that they're happy, that they're content, that they feel like they have the answers about what's going on in their space. And before we came here, I remember mentioning to Brent, like, there's got to be a beacon in that house. I know there's a beacon. And I did say, and I was like, there's a beacon in this damn house. But the universe wouldn't show me the face. That wouldn't show me who it was. They're like, no, there's a lighthouse up in that house. Something's, there's a reason something's going on. But again, you have a lot of protection too. So it's like there's a lot of helpful energy. But you're at the precipice of the blooming. And it's like, we just got to get you wrapped in bubble wrap and make sure that you can do this safely, because there's nothing worse than exploring these gifts unsafely. And then you're, stuck with attachments and all kinds of other crazy things that you don't want. So we want you to be happy. And if you're happy, the whole family unit collectively and the animals are happy too. So, we pretty kind of validated as we went. Sounds like I picked up on your grandmother. And then there's a couple other souls. I don't know where they fit in, if they're generational or who they belong to, but there were some other souls that I felt as well. So I don't know if you recognized any of them. If not, that's fine. I mean, I know they're connected somehow.
It sounded like one of them could have been my grandma. I'm not sure.
Okay.
On my mom's side.
Okay.
The old kind of busy-bodied one.
Oh. Yeah.
That might be her.
Okay. Well, it to have a little extra help in the house, that doesn't hurt, especially if you've got a lighthouse happening. You want that family protective energy to kind of poke in and give a little extra oomph, a little extra love. And clearly you do. So are there other things that you wanted to either validate that I picked up on, sensations I had in different rooms, or as far as just maybe tell us a couple quick little things you've experienced? Because our next step is to break out the meters and poke them around your house a bit. So anything you want to add to the other validations that we kind of already halfway did as we went along, but anything else you have to share, we're glad to listen.
No, like I've always, since I found out about it, like I've talked to her, because in all the houses we've lived in, I've always felt something.
Yeah.
Something. You know what I mean?
It's a good barometer when you're buying a house.
Sometimes negative, in some places, generally either just nothing or, it's
kind of
not
neutral.
Neutral, that's the word I was looking for. And then obviously the positive.
So when
I've been telling her, I'm a beacon, babe. I'm a beacon. I'm sure that I'm a beacon.
And you are.
It's good to be validated on what I was feeling.
Yeah, no, it is. Once you get that sort of that resonance from other people, that external validation, and you're like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, I was feeling all of these things for all this time, and here's why. So it is kind of that relief that, just you can like take a deep breath, like,
Why I get overloaded in crowded places. I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and
because you're not really bubbled well enough before you go into a space. I used to have that same problem, like in busy restaurants, shopping centers, that kind of stuff. I would feel swarmed, and it was almost intolerable. Like, would make my skin crawl. And now I do a lot better. I'm able to like put myself in my little shield and I'm like, okay, this is my space. I don't want anybody else's stuff in my space. But it's still not a perfect science. If I'm really tired or something, I have a hard time bubbling myself. So it is the thing, we learn as we go. You don't have to know it all today. And you just have to be willing to continue learning about this. And, and you've got some great support. They want you to be happy and healthy too. So.
Yeah, no, she's very supportive.
Good. And now as far as, obviously we know that you're sensitive. We know that you have this going on. We felt some of the stuff with, your sleep issues, that kind of thing. We're going to want to get you quite a bit of resources to make sure you can you can cope with this. When you came into this space to buy this home, what did you feel?
At first, not very much, but the longer I've lived here,
you're drawing it on.
The more I feel, right? But I don't generally, like I've said, some houses I haven't been able to walk through the house without the lights off, just because the energy was so bad. Yeah. But I don't really feel anything negative per se here.
Yeah, it feels very bubbled. Feels very bubbled in a lot of ways. I feel like it just gets too busy sometimes, and it's probably just because of your energy. It's not inherently the house has. I don't feel any portals. I don't feel anything like that going on. But it just feels like it gets a little rowdy sometimes energetically. So I do see that you guys have some smudging tools, which is good. I like that.
See?
That's
smudger, I know.
And that's good.
That's a good.
And I would definitely recommend, even after we bless thoroughly, because of what your gifts are, you will absolutely need to do very regular maintenance. You're going to need to smudge once in a while. It's going to be...
She does.
Yeah, good. And obviously, I'm sure, you probably...
It makes me feel weird.
You open all the windows, right? When you do this, or doors?
No,
I'm
supposed
she
to.
sure doesn't.
I did not do
Maybe
that.
that's why it chokes me out.
That would be why it's just stirring up the dead in the house, and it agitates him.
Oh, okay.
See, it does make me uncomfortable.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, you're sealing it in without giving it a place to go.
Basically, it's a big soup pot, and you're just stirring the soup pot. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not something they teach in school.
I've been telling you we need to get a screen door.
Yeah, just open 2 or 3 windows at least when you do it. If you're concerned about the dogs, that kind of thing. Open just a few windows, both in the front and the back of the house, and so when you're smudging, the energy does have a place to exit.
That makes sense.
And you'll see how I do it. For one thing, when I do it, I'm gonna want you to open a few windows. I start at the front door, and I go clockwise through the entire house. I go through every room. I get it into the corners, into the closets, that kind of stuff, and then we just push all the energy out of the space. So it's not rocket science. It's not terribly hard, but you do want to make sure the energy has somewhere to leave. You think, okay, there were ghosts, but can't they just walk through walls? Well, yes, but it's also about intent. You are literally setting the intent of, I want you to disperse if you're not here protecting us. Here's a way to disperse. Here's a way to go out. It's, otherwise it really is just a big giant stew pot, and you've got the big old ladle in there. That's
like, well, we're trying it out.
And then they get a little confused and agitated.
Right.
And then he will feel it.
Okay.
So I do want you smudging regularly, but I do want you doing it in the way that will be helpful. It's not a big deal, because I'm gonna do one heck of a full blessing tonight. So that will press the reset button on the space. And then,
oh, look who's here.
And then that will be something you can then keep up and you can do maintenance with. Once we really, it's like, when you reboot a computer and then you just have to keep running the software and keep it up. Same thing. We're just rebooting your spiritual software tonight.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah, essentially. Do you approve of me now? Yeah, is that what we're doing here?
That's shocking. She never warms up to anybody that fast.
Well,
I have a thing for the animals. I love fur babies.
They're all good.
They're so nice. You're jealous.
Yeah, he's very jealous.
Just having a little bonding moment with all the...
Don't have enough arms.
All the fur nuggets. Really? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, I have to investigate the house.
Helpful? Very sweet. They're fine.
It's like, he won't let me in there, so screw this. Good puppy.
She's a princess.
She's very cute.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll break out some meters, and we'll just walk around and see if there's any hot spots that we need to, concentrate on or worry about. I think, for the most part, the kind of interaction we're going to get are either going to be the ones that are related to you or ones that might have followed you in and they want help to leave anyway. So our blessing will help with that. It'll help get them where they need to go. And that's the kind of stuff we'll probably get interactions on
that was
on
one
our
of the
equipment.
things the group I was working with wanted me to learn was how to help them depart, move on.
Uh-huh.
That's very important.
Yeah, it's, you know, and it's not even all that complicated. At least not, I don't think it's that complicated. It's, you know, a matter of setting that intent and that energy of just letting them know that they are welcome into that light space and that healing space, and that they're permitted to go, and ask them to go with love, ask them to go with light, ask them to go into that healing space. And if they're ready, and if, you know, and most of them that come to you probably are, because they're looking for somebody to go to, they will just sort of feed off of the energy of you picturing and projecting that light and saying you're welcome into this light. You don't have to stay here. We're allowing you to go. You're free to go. You're healed. You can go, you know, keeping all those positive thoughts and literally envisioning that big bright kind of light in your mind. They will see it, and somebody will usually come and say, "Oh, hey, look at you. Come on," and help with the process. You just have to envision and picture that light and let them know that they're welcome to it and that they're safe to go in it. Sometimes all it is fear. They just don't know if they're safe to leave or if they're going to even be welcome in the light. If you can tell them these things, just even in your mind, when you feel them really close and you feel their anxiety or their fear, all of a sudden it'll just start to melt away. And it'll feel really, really good. You'll just kind of know. Me, I hear a audible pop when they leave. So that might happen for you. I don't, you know, everyone's different what they sense. Some people just feel the warmth and the light surrounding them. Some people hear a noise. I mean, a variety of things will happen. So you'll start to kind of know as it goes. But I would prefer you to work on your grounding and your aura protection first before you worry about dealing with the dead. We need to, you know, you can't put the roof on top of a house when the walls aren't built.
Right.
So we got to get your foundation going. We got to put up your walls, and then we got to put up your, you know, all in the right order.
Right.
And then you'll get there.
Makes sense.
So
Makes sense.
let's play with some meters.
All right.